Hello mga sis! Welcome to my cooking channel, Timpla ni Ate, where I share delicious Filipino dishes and family favorite recipes. For my first recipe, magluto tayo ng isa sa pinakapaboritong Filipino appetizer, Lumpia Shanghai. Now let's go over our ingredients. Today we're going to use 2 pounds of ground pork. You can also use chicken, but the original recipe uses pork. And then 2 carrots, half of a medium-sized red onion, 2 stalks of spring onions, 8 cloves of garlic, 3 eggs, and of course, the lumpia wrappers. Make sure to choose the super thin kind. So there are different brands. This one is a Filipino brand, but you can use a Chinese brand if you want. But make sure it's the thin spring roll wrapper. For the tools, gagamit tayo ng knife, peeler, and grater. Alright, let's begin. So we'll put the meat first in a bowl, and then let's grate the carrots. This adds a nice sweetness to the meat mixture. So, maganda pag dalawang carrots. So, use 2 carrots. Next, finely chop the onion. I'm just using about a quarter since it's a big one, roughly half a cup. Then, grate or mince the garlic and chop the spring onions. I actually like adding spring onions because it adds more, it makes it more savory. Okay, now let's combine everything in a bowl and add the 3 eggs. These will help bind all the ingredients together. Okay, for seasoning, add about 1 teaspoon of fish sauce for that umami taste. And then 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. So use a dark soy sauce. I like the taste of that. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. Tapos white pepper. And black pepper. Okay, so now we can mix everything together. Make sure to mix it well. I actually like to add 1 teaspoon of sugar to balance the flavors. Okay, let's mix it again until everything is evenly combined. Take your time. You can also use your hands if you want. I don't have gloves, so I'm just gonna use the spatula or a spoon. Okay, now we're ready to make our lumpia rolls. I like to separate the lumpia wrappers first para may flow when I make or wrap the lumpia. Okay, now we're ready to roll our meat. So I have a square plate, but I'm putting it in an angle so the wrapper looks like a diamond. We're also going to use egg wash. It's just egg whites with a little bit of water. Now, scoop around 1.5 tablespoon to 2 tablespoon of filling, and we're putting it in the middle of the lumpia wrapper. So I just try to spread it with my fingers, okay? Then we're going to fold the bottom and then make sure that it's not loose. So just adjust the meat. Now we start to roll it. When you get to the middle part, then you fold the sides of the wrapper. Like so. And then roll up until it's completely wrapped. Now we're going to seal it with the egg wash. Lumpia wrapper. Hopefully we will have 50 pieces of lumpia rolls or Lumpia Shanghai rolls. But I'm actually going to divide this into 3 small or kind of like a bite-size pieces. You can also divide the wrapper into 4 squares. So if you want like the smaller lumpia rolls, then you can just use smaller squares. So I'll show you what I did here. I have a bunch of the bigger size lumpia wrappers, and then I'm going to divide it in half first, or cut it in half like this. And then I'll cut it again in half, so we will have like four squares per wrapper. Okay, now we're add the meat. This is about 1 teaspoon, so tiny, but I like this as well for like parties. It's just so tedious because it's so small and it will take you a long time to finish. I'll just finish this bunch and then we'll go back to making the lumpia using the whole wrapper. So we're going to cut these and then we'll put it in the freezer. I'm making this for my nephew because it's his birthday tomorrow, and my sister-in-law said that he's requesting for my lumpia. So this is my first recipe that I want to share with you all. All right, let's cook this at my sister-in-law's house. And here we are. It's past 12 and guests are already here. I'm heating up oil in a pot, and I'm also going to use a frying pan so it will be faster. We're going to let it cook in medium heat for about 10 to 12 minutes. And then we're going to remove the lumpia from the pot and let the excess oil drip, and then we're going to serve. And there you have it, mga sis, our crispy and flavorful Lumpia Shanghai, perfect for parties, potlucks, or even just merienda. If you enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my upcoming recipes. Salamat sa panonood, and see you on the next episode of Timpla ni Ate!